Hi, Jen Gilchrist here with another weekly Oracle card reading for July 21st through 28th, or 22nd, I should say, through 28th. So we are on the cusp of this full moon that just happened yesterday, depending on where you are in the world. So I'm feeling called to the Oracle mermaid. So I love that. Makes perfect sense, right? A lot of times the moon energy, I see the dolphins in the background. A lot of time the moon energy will, bring up emotions. And often I associate the mermaid with the Oracle's decks, and the water and the dolphins is about sometimes our emotions, but we'll see what else comes up. So just notice, being on that full moon energy, what is coming up for you? What is bubbling up? What are you being called to release, right? Or just to even sometimes acknowledge if you are feeling emotional, that we are on that moon energy, and that could be why. And it's really about you being ready for a deeper level of healing, which I know on the heels of last week, some of you might have been dealing with grief or just emotional healing of some kind. And so I think it's a powerful shift of energy happening right now. So this first card says receptivity. Allow yourself to receive, allow yourself to give. So I feel like this is about giving and receiving. Now, receptivity is the card. So that's a lot about allowing yourself to receive love, receive support, receive money, receive ideas, right? Our receptivity is all part of our divine feminine energy, right? We all have masculine and feminine energy, but it's all about, can you allow yourself to receive? And that can be coming in the form of gifts. It can be coming in the form of spiritual messages, of financial, of healing, of ideas. Here's the card. I see that spirit. Birds often indicate a level of spirit giving a gift, right? But there's this level of just allowing your heart to be open and your energy to be open and to receive. But then it says allow yourself to give. And so there might be a part of this lesson for you, depending on what your personal messages are, is, and I always suggest that. Notice what I'm saying is like backboarding as I'm reading for a collective. So what ideas and things come to you during the reading is going to make it more personalized. But for you, some of it could be about giving and receiving in general. Maybe you're going through a period of time where you've give, and you're giving from an empty cup and you've hit a burnout. Well, now it's time to allow yourself to receive and bring that in balance, right? Just like we inhale and we exhale, we have to have that fluidity of balance. The next card is the crane bag. It says sacred ocean medicine, clutter, declutter, and choice. So there is a level of, oh, that's the one that's on the cover. Interesting. I was like, I just saw this card, but it's the same card. Um, so the ocean is medicine. So this is, I think, there's so much about releasing and letting go. So it makes perfect sense being on the heels of the full moon energy. That is very strong for, definitely for a couple of more days. But even still, it might just be starting a process of really letting go and shedding. And so that looks really good. It could be clutter. It could be emotional. It feels like a lot of you are healing on an emotional level. It could be mental. It could be physical. Sometimes when I'm working on releasing and letting go, if I don't know where to start with a drawer, start with cleaning out your emails, start with something simple that's physical, and it'll start to allow space for the emotions as well. But I feel like a lot of you are pretty connected to your emotions. In fact, you might have been in your feels for a little while now, just based on especially if you're following the reading last week, because that means that, there was definitely a level of healing and letting go in that for sure. And so it does feel like, salt water. So if you can't get to the ocean or water, if you can be in nature, that looks really healing, any body of water. But also a salt bath would be really great. Or if you don't have a bath or that's not comfortable, then maybe a tub of water for your feet and just dump a pile of salt in there. That really helps a lot. But being in nature can be very healing as well if you can get there. Homeland, arrival, journey ends, establishment, building, and settled. And I'm seeing a few different things. There's a level, so I'm seeing a few different things. I read intuitively a lot as well. So of course I read the card. But when I look at the card itself, I feel like turtles often can be about retreat, right? Rest and retreat. There's a level of they're moving forward, but they're moving at a pace that is balanced for them, right? And I feel like there is a need for a level of balance on your input and output. And potentially sometimes we just have to pause and allow ourselves to heal a bit if we're having something going on within our lives personally. So there's a level of healing and retreating, and maybe, not isolation, but there's a level of alone time sometimes for sensitives and empaths that can actually be needed in terms of our healing, and needed in terms of really connecting with our spiritual intuition and to receive the support from spirit and our guidance in that way. And I feel like there's a level of completion and closure. So for some of you, you might be, wrapping up. It could be the end of a relationship. It could be, the end of a chapter, right? For some of you, it might be like maybe, you're empty nesting. Children are going off to college now. Or maybe for some of you, it's the end of a relationship or a marriage. Or, and some people I feel like may have been grieving a loved one. So it could have been that chapter. It could be, your own chapter of you stepping into your new next level identity of who you are, who you came to be, and maybe you've recognized some places that you weren't being super authentic with yourself and you're ready to make those adjustments. So there's always going to be a level of grieving and integration that happens, but it's the first step of creating new. And so that's really what I'm kind of seeing as this card wraps up is it's like, well, this is like one journey, one door closes, another one opens, right? This might be an ending of one chapter, but now you're pivoting into the next one. And so but there is an important time for that pause, healing, and reset to move forward. But it is actually, required as that first step of creating something new, right? So looking at the ending and beginning kind of all wrapped up into one transition. That's kind of what it feels like to me. So really beautiful. Take the time, rest, retreat, give yourself a little nature break if you can. And we'll talk again soon. Check out my channeled messages. I have a lot of other really inspirational and powerful activations and transmissions with live verbal channeled messages from collective consciousness, different collective consciousness groups, actually, that I have been working with. So check those out. I'll link that above, and I'll see you next time. Let me know if you enjoyed this, like and subscribe, and share with your friends. All right. Bye for now.